What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Um, I'm sitting here on my computer, clicking around. I want to talk about Twilight. I don't really want to talk about Twilight at all, but what I mean to say is that if I may be so humored, I would like to pontificate, if you will, about the atrocity that is Breaking Dawn Part 2, which I saw the day after it came out. I don't know. The theater was packed. First of all, for me, the only redeemable quality, the only possible redeeming thing about this film, in the positive, is it's the last movie. It's the last installment of the franchise. So I never have to listen to anyone ever again talking about the new Twilight movie's coming out. Oh, Team Edward, Team Jacob. It's over. It's over. So you can shut up about it now, because it's over. That's by far the best part about this film. If I had a favorite part, it was the end, when the credits came up, because it was over. So, I mean, you can already tell by the beginning of this review. If you're a big Twilight fan, you love the movie, and you think it's the best movie ever, OMG, then you probably want to turn it off, because it's not going to be pretty. Also, this review contains spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happened, cut it off now, because I will be discussing spoilers. Once again, this complaint that I have for this film is the same as the last movie, which I did see, which I hated. And you're probably like, oh, if you hate the last one so much, why'd you go see this one? Well, because I review movies. That's what I do. And Twilight is a huge franchise. I mean, it's absolutely huge. The Breaking Dawn Part 2 garnered $140 million in, like, one day, which is really incredible since the Dark Knight tragedy. I mean, it's by far huge. I'm not denying that. It sucks. It sucks really bad, but I'm not denying that it's a huge franchise. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it sucked, and not tell you why it sucked. I'm going to tell you exactly why it sucked. Like I said, the complaint with this one is the same that I had with the last one. Nothing happens. Okay? Nothing happens. And, like, I'm not saying this because I know it's not geared for me. These films are not designed for me. I know that I'm not the target audience here, okay? But still, I have seen films. I've gone to movies with people. I just wanted to hang out, and these films were not designed for me. I was not the target audience. But still, good filmmakers mixed with a good cast can bring out certain qualities that are good in a film, even though it's not designed for me. Like, I've enjoyed some films that I really wouldn't have gone to see on my own because they had a good cast, or they had good script writing, or the direction was good, or I liked the lighting, or something like that. This film is totally unredeemable. I mean, out of 10 stars, I give it 0. Like, I don't even give it half a star. Like, I give it completely 0, because I don't know how these films are allowed near a theater that shows film, because it's not a film, it's a low-budget TV show. From the CGI baby at the beginning, that's obviously CGI, to the obviously CGI wolves, to the obviously CGI everything, mixed with the horrible B-movie acting, makes this unbearable, because the plot is horrible. So you mix all those things with this god-awful plot, and you get a mess, and I don't understand why people like it. Like, I'm totally lost. And I'm not saying that because it's geared mainly for girls. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, guys have the cool action movies. I'm not saying that. It has nothing to do with gender. I'm not being sexist. If you like Twilight, I already said, turn it off, because you're probably going to get offended. But seriously, nothing happens. Like, the plot builds up and builds up and builds up to a fight that doesn't actually happen. Now, what makes me the most angry about that is because we've spent so much time in the film introducing these new characters, these vampires from around the world, which was kind of cool. There was one character, I think he was Russian, that I really liked, but he didn't have any lines. Like, Bella's writing this note in one scene, and he comes in, and he's on the fence about having the battle, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna get some character development. No! He just walks in there and says, oh, well, I guess we're gonna lose anyway, and even you know it, so good luck, you're gonna need it, and walks out. I'm like, no. I want to see more of this character. I want to hear this conversation. He's an interesting character. But still, they glazed over character development, and they were like, we gotta get all these vampires from all over the world. And to defend the Cullens in the battle, because the Volturi are gonna kill my baby. So, they gear up for battle, and I'm like, I don't understand why they're fighting, because the head Cullen, or whatever, the father guy, he said at the beginning he's going to do everything he can to avoid fighting. So they're like, we're not going to fight, and then something happens. Like, I fell asleep like 10 minutes into this movie, but I do remember being awake for this part and not understanding why they had to fight, because something comes out of the blue and they're like, oh, well, we have to fight now. I'm like, wait, what? Why? Why can't you talk? Like, it was all based on hearsay anyway. Why do you have to fight? You should just, like, talk it over and settle your differences. And they do. Like, you think there's a fight, but there's not really, because it's all in your mind. Like, the vampire that has the power to go into your mind and see the future, that one, I don't know what her name is, went inside the mind of the head Volturi, played by Michael Sheen, who is usually a good actor, but it's just a testament to the horrible direction, because he was horrible in this. And you think there's a fight, and you're like, oh, everybody's getting killed, and then she takes her hand away, and everybody in the theater was like, oh, because it wasn't really a fight. And guess what? They decide not to, the Volturi or whatever, decide not to kill the baby and to go home, and all the vampires from all over the world go home, and that's the end. Like, really? Like, you spent all that time introducing all these new characters to prep for a battle that you're not going to have, and they all go away. So what was the point of introducing them at all? What was the point of the film? It's just over like that? That's the way it ends? Not only was there not a climax in this movie, this is supposed to be the climax of the Twilight Saga, of the franchise, and you don't even have a legitimate climax in the movie? This is supposed to be the climax of the series. That's a horrible move, in my opinion. I don't know if Stephenie Meyer wrote it that way. I haven't read the books. I've heard they're better, but I doubt it, because it's Twilight. It obviously sucks. The premise sucks. So I don't think she is a good writer, but I might be able to endure the books better than the films. I don't know. I'm not going to take the time to read them. I'm not going to read them at all, because I've seen the movies, and I'm not interested in delving any deeper into that god-awful world. So I'm not going to read the books. But if Stephenie Meyer wrote it that way, that's really, really stupid. And if the filmmakers changed it all to make it that way, then they're stupid. Either way, somebody's stupid. Also, like I said, it's just so cartoony. Like, they don't walk anywhere. They zip around like the Flash. It's like, I'm like, what? No, that's not cool. That looks like Speedy Gonzales. No, that's not cool. And why do these vampires not have pointy teeth? Why do they not burn up in the sun? Why do they not sparkle in the sun? And sometimes, but they do other times, like in the last movie, they had a wedding outdoors and there was sunlight, but they weren't sparkling. So when do they sparkle and when do they not? Why are they vegetarian vampires? Why do they not eat? Why do they not drink human blood? Why? The biggest question I have for the entire Twilight Saga is, why would you fall in love with someone who wants to kill you every second of every day? right there. We can stop there. We don't have to ask any more questions about the rest of the series that doesn't add up. Just start with that one. Why would you try it? Why would you fall in love with someone who wants to kill you every second of every day? Like, seriously, why is that? It shouldn't be like that. It should be, I don't know. From the get-go, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. The series doesn't make any sense. So please, someone tell me why, because nothing happens in these movies. Like, literally. Like, this movie was like an hour and a half of them sitting in their house and talking. They talked, they made vampire love and for like 20 seconds, and they talked some more, and that's it. Because they didn't fight. Like I said, it was a fake fight. So, what is Twilight? What's the story? Oh, well, it's about this girl that falls in love with a vampire, but she also kind of likes this other guy who's a werewolf. Okay, but what's the what happens? What's the plot? Well, they have a baby. Okay. I mean, take something like Lord of the Rings. It has a plot. There's a Dark Lord. He wants to kill everyone. There's one ring that contains all of his power that you have to go destroy it in one place, specifically in the Lion's Den, in the heat of the most evil. And you have to do it there and only there because it can't be destroyed. And the fate of all Middle-earth rests on that destiny of the ring. That's a story. I mean, you could say, well, it's about this hobbit named Frodo and this wizard named Gandalf, and they find a magic ring. But, what's the story? Like I just said, the ring has to be destroyed because blah, 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 blah. You can't just have, what's Twilight about? Oh, this girl who falls in love with a vampire. What's the story? Oh, well, what do they do? Nothing. Nothing. So, my complaint isn't, oh, they need more action because I'm a guy, or, oh, they need, to spice it up, or... I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at least show us something, because there is no plot. And that is what Twilight is to me. Plotless. That has been my review. Goodbye.